Who is the speaker for the dead? Where did they come from? What are their purposes? Many questions lie unanswered until now.
This is the weapon of
The speakers.
not as clumsy or random as a blaster. An elegant weapon for a more civilized age. For over 1,000 generations,
The speakers were
the guardians of peace and justice in the old republic. Before the dark times. Before the empire.
It's about bloody time someone set the record straight. Hello, my fellow speakers. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you tonight with a news story that I saw today, and just felt the need to get on here and discuss this this nightmare, for lack of a better term. I wanted to talk about this mainly because this has to do directly with my home state, the place that I love, the place I've grown up, and how people from outside and people from within now are trying to ruin this place and make it just as horrible and foul as everywhere else that liberals have control of stuff. And anybody who thinks that, America is, just a wicked place full of patriarchy. So, let's talk about this story. I'm going to actually show you the story, and I'd like to give kudos to the Blaze, who that I saw break this story. I don't know if anybody else is even covering it, but that's where I saw that. So I'm going to pull this up here so that we can look at this nightmare together. So, yeah, this is the article in question. So, here's the main headline. Court rules that Idaho refusing transgendered surgery for inmate is cruel and unusual. Here's the governor's response. It's pretty much one sentence. The governor says they will take it to the Supreme Court. Okay, yes. Really? I think the governor's response should have been, No. That's what his response should have been. I don't care what the court says. I don't care what anybody says. The state of Idaho is not going down this crazy road. We are not paying for some psycho who abused children and was convicted and put into prison to serve his term for that crime. We are not giving him special rights. We are not providing him with tax-funded gender reassignment surgery. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. We will never, ever do this. And that's what they need to say to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Say, this is not California. You do not represent us. You may have legal standing, but we're going to the Supreme Court. We're going to get this stopped. And even if we lose in the Supreme Court, we will never do this. If it means costing me the governorship, I will never do this. That's what I'd say. I'd say, just flat out, no, never going to happen, not ever. I mean, this is just nuts. This story is just an absolute nightmare. So the Ninth Circus Court of Appeals, which whenever you have to say that phrase, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, it should have the caveat. I mean, that music should be required to play after those words. The Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, and just start playing it before anything else can go on. Kind of like the horse in Young Frankenstein. Every time they say the one woman's name, Fallbrucher. in the horse neigh. That's exactly what should happen with the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. But this is just despicable. This Airdrie Edmo. Okay, look at this person. Look at this person, and let me read that name again. Airdrie Edmo. It fits, doesn't it? I mean, it fits. Wants the state of Idaho to pay for his gender reassignment surgery. And that they said it was cruel and unusual punishment to deny him this. I think the retards on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals need to go to a dictionary, any dictionary. I'm sure any dictionary can cover this. And read cruel and unusual. Look those two words up and then punishment, and you tell me how this fits in. It's cruel and unusual to make someone stay the gender that they were when they entered prison. Can you see the veins throbbing in my neck? I can feel them. I can feel the aneurysm coming on, because this is just absolutely ridiculous. So they said this is a complete win for Miss Edmo. Miss Edmo. The state of our country is so pathetic. I mean, the governor said this is extremely disappointing. That is a mild way of putting it. This is a nightmare that the hardworking taxpayers of Idaho should not be forced to pay for a convicted sex offender's gender reassignment surgery when it is contrary to the medical opinions of the treating physicians and multiple mental health professionals. Yep. Mr. Edmo was convicted in 2012 for sexually abusing a child younger than 16. The article says he has been serving in a men's prison in Idaho because he is a man and is eligible for release in 2021. That should say is eligible for release never, ever, ever. Because not only is he a convicted sex offender, he's nuts. And realistically, I don't even want to read any more of this. It's just despicable and depressing. Anyway, my purpose in sharing this is because I want my fellow Idahoans and people throughout the country to stand up against this nonsense. We need to call the governor's office and tell Governor Little that we don't want this. We want you to fight. We don't care if this court proceeding costs more than the gender reassignment surgery, because we need to stop this nonsense right here, right now, so that it never gets tried again. Because I'm sorry, when you go to prison, you're a criminal. You have no rights. The only right you have is to fair and decent treatment, as long as you behave and you serve your time and you try and rehabilitate. Now, in the story, it goes on to say that this man has tried to cut his own testicles off on multiple occasions. And here's my thought on that, and it's going to sound mean. Let him do it. If it's so important to him that he does this, save Idaho a few $1,000s and let him do it to himself. His gender dysphoria is so bad, he's tried to cut his own genitals off. Well, sorry. Put him in a straitjacket so he can't do that, and lock him in a loony bin, because that's where he belongs after he serves his term in men's prison. Because I think that's what this is. This is just a ploy. Because if you wanted to cut your own nads off, trust me, it takes one time. One time, and it's done deal. So, yeah, it saddens me that this is happening in my home state. This should never be the case. We should never have to deal with this nonsense. This story should have said, convicted psycho attempts to get out of prison and get transferred into a women's prison by using a psychotic means. And the ruling was slapped down today by men who should be smart enough to realize how stupid this is. But once again, we have people from California and who knows where, because I doubt some judge from Idaho let this go on. If it got to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, that means that all the judges in Idaho they went to said, no. No. And this guy went, I want to cut my nads off. Where's my pocket knife? Here you go. Here you go. Here's my pocket knife. You can just take it and exacto those babies right off. We'll spray a little iodine. See, I grew up on a farm. I castrated pigs and sheep and all kinds of stuff. You know what? There's this amazing little thing called a lacerator that they use on sheep. You put it in this little mechanical device and you click it over the top, and it's a really strong rubber band. It's a little like Cheerio rubber band. And you just slip it over the nads, and in 10 days, bloop, they fall off. No pain, no muss, no fuss, gone. I'll pop, 50 cents for the little lacerator, and I'm sure I can go find some sheep herder who's got one of those little hand grippers that open up the little Cheerio. I'll pop for the whole thing to help take care of this loser and his need to be something he's not. I'm sorry, I just don't believe in all this transgendered nonsense. If you want to pretend you're something you're not, fine, that's fine. Leave me and everybody else out of it. We don't want to be a part. Okay? You want to pretend, that's fine. I don't have to pretend. I stopped pretending a long time ago. Back when I gave up my last invisible friend or imaginary friend or whatever you call them, which I never really did that. I was too busy doing stuff on the farm and having fun, climbing haystacks and stuff. So anyway, let me know if you like this video. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this psychotic story. Lord help us. Because we're going downhill fast. And it don't look good. But I think the Supreme Court is going to, if they take this case, which they should, just to stop this nonsense in its tracks and to put some kind of a permanent, to the whole thing, I really hope they do. But thanks for watching. I love you guys. I appreciate all the views, the support, and the comments. Sometimes I don't always have a lot of comments to say back, other than just thank you. I appreciate it. I sincerely do. But sometimes I've said all I can say on a subject, and so for me to add more comments, I just enjoy reading you guys' comments. I really do, and I appreciate the engagement. It is a lot of fun for me to be a part of this and to be able to enjoy having like-minded people to be around me and to build a community where we can have fun, we can talk about movies and all that kind of stuff, everything under the sun. That's what I want this to be about. I want to build a community where we're whole people, we're a whole person. We're not just, I don't want to do a narrowly focused channel where it's all just about this, and this. I mean, we have to keep it a little bit narrow, but sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. So thanks for watching, and we will talk to you next time. Bye now.